Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Reviews from the Clubhouse. As always, brought to you by Clubhouse Films. We're your hosts, Chance McDuffie and...
Gandalf the Grey.
How appropriate, how fitting. Alrighty, it is Wednesday, June 3rd.
Yep.
But this is dropping on Saturday. It's usually when it drops.
Yeah, it is.
So, yeah.
Every Saturday at 10 a.m.
Wow, man. So much has happened since, in a week.
Yeah, it's been a week.
We've seen each other.
Fuck me.
The world is on fire.
The world's changing.
In particular, here in the United States,
Mm-hmm.
it's just burning. People in the streets protesting.
We're in
rioting.
Columbus, and there's been some pretty, I mean, pretty much everywhere in the U.S. at least. I know all over the world, but yeah, in the U.S. there's been some major protests going on.
Yeah, and for good reason.
That's right.
Unfortunately, there are those who, abuse the system, that ride the wave, and just use it as an excuse to be the jackasses that they really are.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. With that being said, this year has been wild, and it's June. It's barely June. And it feels like so much has happened. And right now, I think is a really important time. Like the Black Lives Matter movement is I think that our country will never be the same after this. But
Definitely.
let me say one more thing. We're a movie channel, obviously. We talk about movies and all that kind of stuff. But the world is too much in a frenzy to not address this.
Yeah.
Plus, I feel as though this particular movement is so important that everybody needs to speak out. There is no ignoring this.
For sure.
And like I said, the protests, we live here in Columbus, and unfortunately, like I said, there are people that just ride this wave and they're just being assholes and causing chaos. That's why, I don't know, we were talking about this earlier. I wanted to protest.
Yeah.
I wanted to go down. I wanted to do something. You know
Same.
what I mean? It's. I feel like that's our duty.
Do your civic duty.
Yeah. Not even just as a humanity. Not even necessarily as a country.
Mm-hmm.
Just as people. And I wanted to, but I didn't want to go down and get caught up in any kind of foolishness. So with that being said, there are other ways to contribute to this movement and to speak out and for your voice to be heard. And some of those different ways are petitions that are being signed, donations to various funds, which is, leads me into what we're talking about right now. But we're going to drop a few of those links to various different online surveys and petitions that you can sign and various different relief funds for protesters that have been peaceful protesters that have been arrested and all that kind of stuff to help.
That's fucking nuts.
That's to help nuts. Alleviate some of the stress on those people that were actually out there on the front line, so to speak. So we'll drop those in the description. If you're like us or like me, just if you can't get out there and protest for whatever reason, there are other ways to contribute, and we all should speak out about this. It's very important. This is going to change
history.
the world.
Yeah, irrevocably. Yeah.
It's wild, man.
Make sure you're on the right side of history.
Ain't that the truth? But hey, this is a movie show, like I said.
But when it's something like this, it's important for everyone's voices to be heard. But
hey,
yeah.
Now that we got that, now that I can turn off my serious voice, let's get into the bare bones of the show here.
Hey, it sounds the same from your not serious voice. Sounds the same as your serious voice. Oh, it's a little higher there. I could hear that. Yeah.
Thank you. I went up an octave.
Yeah, whole octaves.
Yeah, a whole one. I jumped it. But anyway, what we got going on?
This week we watched the Hobbit Trilogy.
Yeah.
And boy, are they not good.
Yeah, I mean, they're not awful. They're not awful, but
I was lost for words.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll get into it.
Yeah.
But
news first.
Yeah, got some news.
Dun, dun, dun.
Some news, of course. So, first up, J.J. Abrams is
your favorite director.
Yeah, of course. He's the greatest director in cinematic history. Just look at all the movies that he just ripped off. I mean, come on. How else do you climb to the top?
You can't.
Maybe you make some good movies.
Nah, no one does that anymore.
So true. But yeah, so J.J. Abrams is rumored to be helming a new Superman movie. And apparently,
I didn't know that. That's cool.
yeah.
I don't listen to any
he and
news.
Warner Brothers, they signed like this exclusive deal to where he's basically Bad Robot, which is his production company, is basically going to be like the Kevin Feige of the DC like movies. Because now that Warner Bros has that new CEO, I can't remember his name, but he's going in like a different direction with the DC movies. He's not so worried about like the team up movies anymore, and he's kind of moving more so into the solo realm, so that we can like the audience can get acclimated with these characters and. So yeah, they're kind of working backwards as far as how the MCU went.
It's not that fun.
And it's like a soft reboot. So this new Suicide Squad movie coming out by James Gunn is a soft reboot.
Okay, of what? Of the entirety of the DCU?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Okay.
So for a while, Warner Brothers had no like further plans for a Superman movie, and pretty much Henry Cavill was done being Superman, and then he did The Witcher and blah blah blah. But apparently, rumor has it
Segue.
that J.J. Abrams is looking, and Warner Brothers are looking to bring Henry Cavill back. But
Which do you like him as a Superman? Or?
yeah, I think he's my favorite Superman.
Okay.
Like Man of Steel, I don't know, man. I saw the movie when it first came out. I loved it. Like I went from loving this movie to hating it to loving it to hating it again. Right now, I love it, but yeah,
Ask him next year.
yeah. Maybe I'll,
If his track record holds up, he'll hate it again.
yeah. Who knows? Maybe I'll throw a curveball in there. But I think this is a good idea. I am excited to see good adaptations of the DC characters. Not saying that J.J. Abrams or the future movies are just bound to be good. You know what I mean? You never know. But
Yeah.
I'm ready to see, some good.
I don't know. They're just trying so hard to,
Ride the wave, yeah.
That's right. But they just can't get it right, it seems.
Because there's nobody like really in charge.
You think
There's no
that's it?
Kevin Feige.
So you
know
think?
what I mean?
So
There's
you
no
think
Shepard.
once?
Yeah.
What's his name? J.J. Abrams
Yeah.
comes back in, and he'll kind
I
of.
don't know. I mean,
I know you don't like him.
it's not that I don't like him.
No, you
I
said you
just
don't
think
like
that
him.
he's a little bit overrated.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, I hope you. I mean, you just threw your chances of getting cast in a J.J. Abrams flick out
Because
the
I gave
window.
my opinion? That's
yes.
crazy.
Everyone knows that any opinions given about anyone just limit your chances.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot. It's 2020.
It's 2020, man. Come on.
2020 vision. Next bit of news. So, did you see that new Sonic movie that came out?
No, God,
Me neither.
no. No.
Apparently, it did well at the box office.
Yeah, Jim Carrey apparently steals the show, but I don't know. I don't have kids, so I wouldn't go. I don't think I'd see it by myself.
Yeah, I have no plans on seeing it. Period. But apparently, the sequel is in the works. It was a
surprise me.
financial and commercial success.
Yeah.
So this comes out of Variety. So Paramount and Sega have officially announced the sequel. So director Jeffrey Fowler and the screenwriter is Pat Casey and Josh Miller are set to return.
Wow.
Same screenwriter.
I don't know any of those people.
Right. Excuse me. Same screenwriters and same director coming back.
Cool.
So that's cool.
That is nice.
Yeah. Like I said.
I still won't see it, but
yeah, I could give two shits
Yeah.
about. I was never really like a Sonic fan growing up.
boy, do I hope they make like a Sonic or a Sega universe out of this, a cinematic universe. Man, bring in. Oh wait, Mario is
Why
Nintendo.
does everything have to be a cinematic universe these days? Like everything has to be connected.
Well, it sells.
I mean, I get. Does it though? Does it?
Yeah.
No, because the only. Okay, let's look at like the Dark Universe movies when they tried to make like Frankenstein and.
Oh yeah.
They tried to make the Avengers out of the classic like Universal monsters. Flopped. Didn't work. Who else? Godzilla. This new Godzilla franchise. Well, even though
Yeah.
Godzilla vs. Kong hasn't come out
Hasn't
yet.
come out yet. Maybe that'll be the one that just changes everything.
Yeah,
And
sure.
it'll be, it'll get rave reviews and it'll just, oh my gosh.
Anyway,
It won't happen.
yeah, probably not. But
No. It won't happen. Not probably. It won't happen.
are you a fifth dimensional being?
Oh my god. Yes.
Oh my god. Yes.
My true colors are coming out.
You're not gonna ask me what gave it away?
What gave it away?
Next bit of news.
He a dick. I need to know so I can cover myself up again.
So it looks like
Sounds really weird. I don't want to expose myself again, Chance.
well, no one can see you. So it stays between us.
All right.
Anyway, next bit of news. Major movie theater chains are set to reopen in July, just in time for Tenet's release. So Tenet's supposed to come out July 17th. So Cineworld and Regal have already announced that they will be reopening in July. AMC and Cinemark haven't like officially announced anything, but I'm assuming like if Cineworld and Regal are
They'll follow
reopening,
suit.
they'll follow suit, especially right now.
Is there a Cinemark even near us? Is there one up at Easton? Is that a Cinemark?
Cinemark? Yeah, there's one in Gahanna.
Gahanna? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever.
Stonebridge.
Oh, we've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where we saw our first movie that we did, the Lego movie.
In Gahanna?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I think so.
No, we saw that at AMC. Remember, because we got the A-list thing, and we saw it at the one in Grove City
No.
by that smoothie shop or whatever the fuck it is.
I don't remember. My life is crazy.
It's because you're a fifth dimensional being. You never know where you are.
Fuck off. Did you just learn about that, or is that why you're...
But I've just been my wife's been watching all these like Ancient Aliens and just talking about like portals and.
I used to watch like
different
Monster
dimensions
Quest when I was younger. That's a good one.
Yeah, apparently
it's terrible,
scientists say that Monsters Inc. depicts the fourth dimension perfectly, like how you just open the door and then you're in a different place.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Didn't they do that in Interstellar? That's kind of what the beings were, right? Or what they thought they were.
Fifth dimensional beings.
Oh, fifth dimensional. Okay.
Yeah.
That movie still trips me out.
Yeah.
I can't follow it.
Here we go. Rambling.
Yep. Next news.
Yeah. Next bit of news. Are you familiar with Fiddler on the Roof?
Oh my gosh. Anytime you ask me a question, more than likely my answer is no. But Fiddler on the Roof, I'm not familiar with. No.
Oh. I thought that was going in a different direction. Because you are a song and dance man, are you not?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I know. Is this okay? This is gonna sound stupid, but is he like a chimney sweep or something?
I've never seen it. I have no idea.
I always thought like the Fiddler on the Roof and Mary Poppins kind of went hand in hand. But
I don't know. I think I get this confused with like biblical stuff. Like, isn't there a guy that like plays a flute and he like rallies some snakes or some shit like that?
Oh my god, I don't know.
And I don't know either. I don't know.
Oh my God. We don't know anything. What do we know?
Is it kids?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't remember.
I don't know.
Anyway, this comes out of Deadline. So,
Deadline?
Thomas Kail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thomas Kail.
Thomas Kail is set to direct the live action adaptation of the new live action adaptation of Fiddler on the Roof.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm a huge Thomas Kail fan.
Yeah, so he's the director.
I don't know anything.
Oh well, let me tell you.
Yeah, tell me. Please.
He's the director of the Broadway musicals In the Heights and Hamilton.
Oh, I told you about In the Heights. You
didn't tell me shit.
Yes, I did. I said that was the Lin-Manuel one.
Don't remember that.
I hate you.
You're lying. You're making it up.
Go back and listen to our podcast.
So wait. You're telling me you record our conversations?
No. Yes. Yes, I do.
Next bit of news. So, Martin Scorsese.
I don't think we're funny. I don't think we're funny at all.
Hey, well,
our thousands of listeners clearly do.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't they? I mean, that's why they're here, right? Who cares about Fiddler on the Roof?
I don't know a single soul that does.
I've never even seen it. Don't even really know what it is. Anyway, so the new Martin Scorsese film. So he's working with Robert De Niro and DiCaprio again.
God.
So yeah, so it's like some weird period piece or whatever. I really don't know what it's about.
I mean, it's
called
Scorsese.
It's called Killers of the Flower Moon. So
that sounds fucking weird.
I don't know.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever.
So Paramount bought the rights to this movie, and they've been, slowly building to production. Mm-hmm. And apparently, Scorsese wants $150 million to make this movie. It's a fucking... That's wild. Like, why do you need that much for like a...
Wasn't The Irishman like 200 or 300?
Well, yeah, but that was...
I get it. Yeah.
But fuck.
That's a lot of money. And you know what? I'm going to say this. I'm kind of over Scorsese. I did not like the Irishman that much. The story is really good, and the acting is awesome. But like, there's that chair. But I don't know. The editing is fucking atrocious in that movie. Oh, yeah. It's really bad. It's just poorly edited. Now they might have gone back and cleaned it up, but I don't know. I'll probably see it, but
so. Paramount bought the rights, and once Scorsese demanded that $150 million, they were like, "Yeah, we can't. Never mind. That. Yeah, fuck that." So they gave him permission to like go out and find some producers, and apparently Apple is going to produce this movie.
Wow.
Yeah. So
they got the money.
Paramount will distribute the movie, so it'll get a theatrical release.
Okay.
But then it'll end up on Apple TV Plus once its theatrical release is done. But but apparently. So he wanted the 150, and then apparently that wasn't the actual number. Once they crunched the numbers and figured it out, more. It was about $180 to $200 million.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm just like $200 million on
a movie we know nothing about.
Yeah.
I mean, he is Scorsese, and like he's definitely one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. Mm-hmm. But $200 million. That's fucking nutso. I mean, they made Endgame for like what?
Like around 3, a little over 3.
Which that I can see. It grossed over $1 billion. It
grossed 2.5.
So yeah, over $2 billion. And I don't think in none of his movies have ever
a movie like Endgame, you can't make a movie like Endgame for less than 300
not even close.
With all those special effects and all those A-listers and so on and so forth.
Yeah, but you know what? Robert De Niro will produce this one as well because he produced I keep wanting to say the Iron Man because he has so much fucking Iron Man stuff. He produced The Irishman, and I'm sure he'll throw in some change. So,
I mean, I'll see it.
Yeah,
probably. I haven't seen Silence with that other Scorsese movie with Liam Neeson, Andrew Garfield, and Adam Driver. They're like Jesuit priests.
Never seen that either.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I love Adam Driver. I think Gangs of New York is probably his best film that he's made. It's probably my
Scorsese?
favorite. Mm-hmm. I didn't really like Goodfellas.
I haven't seen Goodfellas.
Got halfway through.
I haven't seen fucking what's the other one? Taxi Driver.
That's a good one. Ooh, that's a really good one.
King of Comedy.
I haven't seen that one.
Anyway. Speaking of expensive movies, so the Snyder Cut. It was announced a couple weeks ago. You know, the Snyder Cut's happening. Ooh,
HBO Max.
Blah, 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 all that shit. So it was set with a budget of $20 to $30 million because the movie isn't actually done.
Right.
It's not like it's just sitting on a shelf somewhere in a vault. It's literally just like the in-camera stuff, and that's it. It has to be finished. But
which, if you're not familiar with what in-camera means, it literally means there's no CGI. Everything is done shot through the camera. So there's no, like, if people are wearing morph suits, green screen suits, like, you're gonna see that because it's shot in camera. There's no special effects. Right. So
like literally nothing.
They've got to go back into everything.
Yeah, and basically make the movie because it's not
done.
And apparently it's going to be closer to... So it's supposed to be 20 to 30 mil. It's closer to 70 mil now.
That's what I told you. I said double that figure. There's no way.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Because they're going to get like ILM or Weta to do it. So
Warner Media, the CEO of Warner Media, Bob Greenblatt, he said, it's going to be very expensive.
Yeah.
And he said, I wish it was 30 million. But but
I'd take 30 million.
I don't know. I mean, how much different is this movie really going to be?
Apparently, he said it's a new movie. But I don't care about the DC universe. Not really, so...
I mean, I just love those heroes, man. They're classic heroes. Green Lantern, Flash, Batman.
This means we'll see Wonder Woman. Ben Affleck again as Batman.
That's never going to happen.
Basically an entirely new movie.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess. But it's a damn shame.
Yep.
Apparently, the entire cast has already seen the Snyder Cut.
Oh, really?
Like, as it exists right now.
Huh. And they like it, I'm guessing.
I guess.
They probably prefer it over the...
Yeah, they were hashtagging the Snyder Cut all over Twitter. So
Because Joss Whedon did the Justice League movie
the reshoot. Yeah.
after Zack Snyder left.
The official theatrical released one. Yeah. Yeah.
I always hate that. You can work on the movie 90% of it, but if you're not the one who helms the film when it releases, your name's not going on that thing. So,
Hey, man. It ain't show friends, it's show business.
That's true.
But anyway, so remember how a few weeks ago we talked about Tom Cruise filming a movie in space?
I do remember that, yes.
Well, that project has just landed a director.
What?
Yeah, so
Who?
it looks like Tom Cruise is really about to film a movie in space.
That's fucking nuts.
Doug Liman. He directed Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So Tom Cruise, he likes to work with the same people. He
Yep.
he collaborates with the same like screenwriters and directors on like several different things.
I mean,
So-
he's the richest actor in Hollywood, and I mean, he's obviously made a formula and sticking to it, and he knows what works for him.
Have you seen Oblivion, that other Tom Cruise movie?
No, I didn't see that
He
one.
directed that as well. That movie's it's all right. Like the third act gets a little like there's a twist and it's kind of like what the fuck. Like it's like your stereotypical sci-fi twist. I feel, you know what I mean?
That's like one of the first movies that used the Mandalorian technique of using that, project like an actual screen to project their surroundings. It's really cool. That's where the Mandalorian got the idea from. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
So
I haven't seen it.
Tom Cruise making a movie in space. I'll see it for sure.
Yeah, that'd be. I mean, I'd watch it just for like the historical, prowess behind it. I mean, it's pretty cool.
That's fucking badass, and especially now after the space launch.
Yeah, that just happened. Saturday? Yeah. So, which was really cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I think for the first time, NASA astronauts have been on a private spacecraft. So he knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, like,
apparently
what the
they're
fuck?
launching like 30 satellites too up into space really soon, if not today. So he was planning something with SpaceX. I think he's a genius, Elon Musk, but I think he's also got a big fucking mouth, and it gets him in trouble. So
I love his horse fucker quote.
he's the biggest detriment to that company.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google Elon Musk horse fucker. And it's the most wild, outlandish shit I've ever heard in my life. But, I mean, I guess he can say and do whatever he wants. He's a genius.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Anyway, yeah.
And
my
he
wife,
had no hair, and his hair came back.
is that real life?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yes, it is. Because he's one of the co-founders of PayPal, right? And when PayPal was like getting started, he was like fucking bald. And then either he got bought out his shares or he sold his shares or something like that. And there's a meme that goes around like, you've made it when your hairline respects you enough to come back.
Oh my God.
It's hilarious.
Wow. He's an Iron Man too.
Yes, he is.
He's like, I have an idea for an electric jet.
Yeah.
What?
Give him 5 years.
Wow. But, yeah, my wife's like, what makes him a genius? And I looked up his IQ. Let me guess, a genius level IQ. What kind of question is that?
150, something like that?
It's like 200 and something.
His IQ?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
No, wait. It might be 150.
Okay, I was gonna
I might be
say
tripping.
no one has an
way.
IQ of that. Not even
Is
Einstein.
he Charles Xavier?
Fuck.
Anyway. Yeah, Tom Cruise space. Anyway. Have you ever seen The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo?
I have. David Fincher.
Yeah.
Yes, I have seen that one.
Have you seen
Very
the original
good.
foreign film?
I didn't know there was one.
It's like the Swedish.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because that's got like a pretty Swedish cast as it is when he made it. I mean, Peter.
Sweet-ish cast.
Yeah. Did I say it wrong?
So it's getting a Amazon series. So Amazon bought it. It's gonna be on Amazon Prime.
Man.
Apparently, it's not a sequel or prequel to the books, or the movies, because there was a sequel to The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo that came out. It was like The Girl in the Spider's Web or some shit like that, and it didn't do very
changes,
well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I think the main girl is the only one who came back for that. I don't think Daniel Craig was in it.
No, I don't think he was.
And David Fincher definitely didn't direct it. So
yeah, so it's gonna be a brand new, fresh, spanking new story for
spanking. Wow.
yeah. There's some spanking in that movie. From what I recall.
Actually, there is, yeah.
That's a wild movie, man.
That's a crazy movie. We had no clue. Lucas and I had no clue what we were walking into.
Could you imagine? You just sitting there.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
We're just like, oh, this is a fun, like, murder mystery, kind of solve it kind of thing. And then, oh, what the fuck is happening?
Why would my wife, if I made my wife watch this, she'd be like, why would you make me watch this? You like watching shit like this? It's disgusting.
Oh, my God.
Turn it off.
Get this smut out of this house.
Yeah. So, but I mean,
she can hear us.
I like the first movie. I didn't see the second one. So, I think I'll see it. Well, the series when it comes. It depends on how the trailer looks. You know what I mean? My mind can change from now to. I mean, this isn't even in pre-production yet. I don't think. But
if it ever gets made.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
I don't know. I'm really banking on the Last of Us series coming out, but I just don't think it'll ever get made, which sucks because that would make a great movie or series. So,
fingers crossed, man.
Fingers crossed.
You know who Scott Derrickson is? Director of Sinister and Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah.
So he departed from Doctor Strange 2, as we all know, for creative differences. And he just landed his next film. So this comes out of Deadline. You ever seen Labyrinth?
Not Pan's Labyrinth.
No.
But Labyrinth, no.
So he's gonna direct the sequel to that. Don't know. I've never seen Labyrinth, but
me neither.
It's like a dark, spooky, weird movie.
Yeah, I mean that's what he's kind of known for. So,
Sinister. I love that movie.
Yeah,
it's really good.
I don't think I've seen that one
with Ethan Hawke, handsome Hawke.
God, he does some weird movies.
Yeah,
Boyhood.
He hates the MCU.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Why? He
He's
just
on that
thinks it's a
Scorsese
sellout
train.
kind of
Yeah,
thing.
they're just cash grabs.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, they are though.
No, I mean, but there's substance in there.
Right,
Like, don't
for
I
sure.
mean, yeah,
it's not an empty
they're
shell.
Yeah, like don't.
Yeah, I get that.
Discredit it. I mean, look at Captain America and Iron Man. It's some of the best character arcs in cinematic history. If you actually watch it.
Yeah.
But anyway, you didn't get me all worked up.
Goose fraba.
What do they say? Have you seen Bad Boys? They say, Woosa.
No, I won't watch trash.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, I've never seen those.
Huh. I haven't seen the third one. Apparently, it's pretty good.
I'm sure it isn't.
I like what you're doing here, man. Let's go back and forth.
Right?
Anyway, next big news. Paul Feig. You familiar with this guy?
Nah.
For real?
I don't
Bridesmaids.
know. Tell me. I've never seen that.
You never seen Bridesmaids?
No. Thanks for peeking the audio, though.
Hey, I mean, that's what I do. You know what I mean?
Bridesmaids, is that the one with like...
Yep.
Oh, is it? Okay, cool. I should making sure.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. See? Anyway, you just need a reminder. But apparently, so he's about to direct this new movie for this new series for Netflix. It's a book adaptation. It's called The School for Good and Evil. And so this comes out of Variety. And it sounds pretty stupid. So the book series follows two best friends, Sophie and Agatha, as they go to the School for Good and Evil.
And was Agatha born a 90-year-old or? Probably.
I don't know. But so they go to the school where they teach ordinary boys and girls how to become fairy tale like heroes or villains. And Sophie is like the princess type, and she ends up like she really wants to be assigned to the good fairy tale heroes, but she gets assigned to the evil. And then Agatha is naturally evil, and she gets assigned to the good. This sounds like fucking garbage, man. Like trash bag in the dumpster garbage.
But what do we know?
That this is gonna be good. Don't quote me on that.
This is gonna be good.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Carnival Row, man. That's a good show.
Man,
you need to watch that one.
There's too many shows that I need to watch.
Yeah. Just watch it on your drive.
Just watch it. Yeah, okay. I'll throw it up on the GPS.
Yeah, might as well.
Actually, no, I'll just throw it up on the windshield and just watch it like that. Virtually. You don't have one of those?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I'm from the fifth dimension.
I was about to say, it's because we're fifth dimensional beings. I'm one now, too.
I could see it showing. So.
Yeah, thank you.
I pointed. I don't know why.
Why cover it up when you just...
Why hide it? Don't be ashamed.
I'm proud of my fifth dimensions.
God, we're so fucking weird.
That's good because we got one last bit of news. Actually, never mind. That was the last bit of news.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah.
Hey, we hit our 30-minute
saved the
mark
worst for
again.
last.
Cool.
30-minute mark?
Heck yeah.
Freaking sweet.
All right, now let's talk about the garbage that we're about to review.
You really think these movies are garbage?
No. They're
Then
not.
why would you say it, Logan? Are you lying?
I am lying. Yeah. You know,
Well, at least you're honest.
you know what? I said that I wasn't going to really review movies that are like 5 years or older, but I didn't get to say my shit about this movie when it came out, so here we go.
Bada bing, bada boom. Here we go. The prequel to the Lord of the Rings series. So these movies kind of set up what happens in like the Lord of the Rings movies. It's instead of Frodo, we got Bilbo's Tale, played by Martin Freeman, and of course we got Gandalf back, played by Sir Ian McKellen. Helmed by Peter Jackson once again. This movie had a budget of 180 million. Mm-hmm. It grossed over $1 billion worldwide. So I mean, hey, what are you gonna do? But unfortunately, it's kind of hard to talk about these movies without comparing them to the original trilogy. And I don't know if that makes my opinion objective versus subjective. But I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I don't think these movies are anywhere near the same level as the original trilogy. Mm-hmm. That being said, like, don't get me wrong. I don't think these movies are awful. I don't think they're bad. They're definitely enjoyable films, but they're just not. They're just nowhere near the lightning in a bottle that was the original trilogy.
For sure.
And I feel like I don't know.
I my thinkings of why would be I think they're more geared towards children. Mm-hmm. You know, because they are. I mean, The Hobbit is kind of along the lines of a kid's book. Mm-hmm. Their over-reliance of CGI is what is my biggest thing that I hate about this trilogy. Mm-hmm. I mean, the first Lord of the... To put it into perspective, the first Lord of the Rings won 4 Oscars. And I just keep thinking... I think they just won more and more and more as the years went on.
The Return of the King won 11, including Best Picture.
And, you know... I guarantee you, if you look at it, the one Oscar they keep winning is the special effects makeup. Mm-hmm. Because the makeup on the orcs and even some of the, you know, the other characters like Frodo and everyone else, I mean, it's outstanding. And when you look at The Hobbit, it's just kind of like a slap in the face, like, you know, saying, hey, you did a great job on these films. But fuck you, we're gonna animate it all.
Yeah, so. And my thing is, I don't know, like some of the good things. Let's talk about the good things
because there are good things. Because
the characters and the acting are great.
Fantastic.
Like, everyone pretty much nails their role. Yeah. I feel like what they're needed to do, and especially Sir Ian McKellen. I mean, what do we need to say about that guy?
Like, he looks great.
Yeah, and like. I don't know. I feel like he's like this, like the perfect grandpa. I don't know. Like ever since I was a kid, I was able to, like when I saw him in X-Men in 2000. Yeah. Like ever since I was a child, I've always been able to recognize his presence. Like he's definitely like he's a true thespian, and you can always feel his presence on screen. Yeah. Like he's just he demands your attention. That's where in every role that he does. You know what I mean? Like those names like Brando or De Niro or Washington or Eastwood or Hanks. Like when you watch them, they demand your presence, and you know who you're watching. You know what I mean? And he's always had that gravitas to him, I feel. And I don't know. I just love Gandalf. You know, he's just warm and he's caring, and he actually genuinely cares about people and about life. And he's just a sweet old man. Yeah. Just trying to do right, you know?
Yeah, he and Martin Freeman are probably the best things about Martin this
Freeman
trilogy.
As Bilbo. Like
he nails it.
It's fun seeing a young, prissy Bilbo. Right. Because like in the original trilogy, he's like the grumpy old man, the recluse, but it turns out like he's always been like that. Yeah. And it's
I just want my armchair.
Yeah, he just wants to be left alone. And what's funny is the older I get, the more I relate to Bilbo. Like anytime my phone rings, I'm like, who the fuck is this? Yeah. Like literally out loud I say that. Who the what? And I answer, hello.
Even if like LaCrista's calling me, I do that all the time.
When people come knocking on my door, when I get a package that I forgot that I ordered, and like they'll knock on the door, I'm like, who in the fuck
hey,
is that? My front door. Thank you very much. Would you like some water?
We're making dinner.
It's a hot day. Anyway, yeah, it's fun seeing that. I liked Bilbo. That being said, like the first hour of this movie is like kind of hard to get through. It's so slow.
I said the pacing is very bad.
Yeah, it's so slow. And like
halfway.
once the adventure actually starts,
it's fun.
The movie builds, and it builds to a pretty good third act. But I don't know. It's just the beginning of it. It just kind of drags on, and it feels like some of the scenes are just kind of like too long. Like once the scene is over, you're kind of just sitting there like, but what did that?
Yeah, the whole
add to like with
the whole troll thing.
Yeah,
in the first one, that's a scene that I feel like could just be cut the fuck down. I get it. You know, it's important. You know, it's they put it in the Lord of the Rings. And,
yeah, that's where they were after Frodo got stabbed, right?
Yeah. So, but that's it just the pacing in the first hour is, you know, just bad. It's just bad. I mean, I get that there's a lot to build and there's a lot of story to tell and a lot of sustenance. But
these movies were originally supposed to be 2, just like the original movie. But the thing is, I feel like as to where the original trilogy, it got stretched to 3 movies instead of 2 because there were actually 3 books. Mm-hmm. With this, I feel like they just kind of stretched it out as like a cash grab.
Make it another trilogy, yeah.
But because Peter Jackson, he had he only had a budget to make the first 2 movies, and he spent pretty much all of his money on those 2, and then he took them into a meeting with one of the producers or something like that, and he showed him what he had, and the dude was like, "Aren't there 3 books?" And then that's how he got.
Why, yes, there is.
Could you imagine you're in there like, you bet your sweet ass there's 3 books,
and it's gonna cost twice as much,
maybe even 3 times as much. But yeah, but I don't know. I can definitely feel it, and I feel like I don't know, like maybe if like 15, 20 movies or 20 minutes were shaved off of this movie, it'd be
because they are almost 3 hours. I mean, the first one alone, I think it's like 2 hours and 48 minutes or something like that.
You feel it.
Yeah,
but
it's a lot.
As opposed to like don't get me wrong, the original like Lord of the Rings is long, but
the first cut of the Lord of the Rings was over 4 hours long.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's like 4 hours and 15 minutes. That's nuts.
Just think about all that footage that just doesn't get used.
I know.
Think about that.
But, you know, it's probably a bunch of B-roll shots.
All that money that gets spent on like shots that don't get used.
In the second Lord of the Rings, the guy, the steward of Gondor, he's like not even in it.
Yeah.
But he's in the second movie.
He's in the extended cut. Yeah.
Same with Sean Bean.
Yeah.
But they're cut out. Oh, I think it was a smart idea to cut Sean Bean out. I think once a character is dead, I don't necessarily like the thought of bringing them back in for like a flashback or something, because it feels like they're not gone, you know, except for I love The Rise of Skywalker. Spoiler alert.
Oh, when
that scene.
Yeah.
Ooh. The best scene in the entire movie. Speaking of best scenes in the entire movie, the best scene in The Hobbit is definitely the song when all the dwarves sing.
The Misty Mountain.
I fucking love that scene.
Do you really?
I love it. I think it's fucking gold. You have the entire time.
I think it's fucking gold.
I mean, I will watch that scene on its own any day. I think it's shot. First of all, it's shot beautifully. Mm-hmm. If you listen to the words the dwarves are singing, they're singing about home, while Bilbo is off in another room thinking about how he has a home and how he has a place and how they don't, and how they need to get back and to find and it just resonates with him so well that when he wakes up in the morning, he's like, I gotta go. I want this adventure. And
it's almost like Peter Jackson was telling the story,
right? So I think it's interesting when like a bad movie has a really great scene in it, because sometimes it can save the film. But again, this movie isn't all bad. I mean, there's definitely some technical things that I've talked about.
Probably the best scene in the whole movie is the riddles with Gollum and Bilbo.
That takes a long time.
Yeah, that's a great scene.
It's a great scene. It's a lot of fun.
I don't know. I love how witty Bilbo is, and he's just tricking Gollum out of this ring. But So obviously, this is where he gets the ring. But that moment after Bilbo gets the ring, and he has it on and he's invisible, and Gollum's like looking for him, and he like hesitates for a second, and we see how sad and pitiful Gollum is. Like, that's so sad.
He pauses for a moment and he looks at him and he's like, like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, like this poor creature.
Yeah.
Because in Fellowship, Gandalf's talking to Frodo, and Frodo's like, "Oh, it's a pity that Bilbo didn't finish him when he had the chance." Talking about Gollum because he was following him. These were they were in the caves, and Gandalf's like, "Pity." It's like he's like, "Pity is what saved Bilbo's hand." So I don't know. It was kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't know, because he did look so sad.
Yeah,
and I was
he
just
did.
like, look at this motherfucker right here, man.
But at the same time, he'll rip your fucking head off for that ring.
No, he'll bite your finger
He'll
off.
bite your finger off for sure.
Or strangle you to death. I mean, hey.
I think,
And he lied about his birthday.
He lied about his birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my birthday.
It's my birthday. I want it.
I think one of
Give
my...
it to us.
he's still going. You got one more? Wait until I talk and then... Nah, he said no. I think, there's no sense of urgency in these films, which is what kind of gets me. At least in the first one, I don't feel like there is. And then I think there's too many characters.
Yeah, those fucking dwarves.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we boring you?
Yeah, as a matter of fact. These fucking, like, the dwarves, I don't know, they're expendable.
Yeah, we don't get to know them, so
I'm like,
we
who's
don't
who?
care about them.
The only ones I care about are, like, is Feely and Keely.
Yeah.
Thorin's nephews.
And then Thorin a little bit.
Thorin's cool.
Yeah, Thorin's cool. And I like
The second movie is more so his movie, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the best dwarf out of all of them is the guy with the white beard, which I don't know his name. Yeah. But I think he's definitely the best actor out of them. And like some of his line delivery is just spot on. Like there's a scene in I think it's the third one when Thorin is going mad and like he has a monologue to Bilbo and it's really good. Like it's just good writing and like a good delivery, and that's another time where like a good scene can save a bad movie.
So you're saying this movie's bad?
I think they're about. I think the first one is probably like
the worst.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
hard.
Not, overall, it's not a bad movie. It's got issues.
Yeah,
and
I think the second one is the best.
Yeah, well, yeah,
for sure.
It's a little rough in the start, but once the adventure starts, it slowly gets better and better. That's
you know what? I think it's shot nicely. Some of the good things I love. The music is always great. The music in these movies are really fun. The acting is always good. I like the contrast between, like, the last time we had seen Gandalf, he was Gandalf the White, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, we're seeing him as Gandalf the Grey again. And I love that, like, he's able to, because Gandalf the Grey, Gandalf the White, they act differently.
Yeah.
So he's able to switch back on that switch of, well, I'm not Gandalf the White anymore, I'm Gandalf the Grey. And he acts completely different. I love that they brought Elijah Wood back and the guy who played Bilbo, even if it was just for a hot second. I thought that was great. It's fun seeing them. Yeah, that's that one. I probably
that's that one.
It's like a 6 out of 10 for me. I don't love it. It's fine though. Like it's fine. It's just fine. I mean the third one. I think the third one is when they introduced their stupid fucking frame rate. That's the biggest sin out of everything.
No, I think the frame rate's like that in this one too.
I don't know. Whenever they shot it in 3D HFR.
It's so weird. People look like they're moving too fast. Like it looks twitchy and like strange. It's kind of distracting.
Typically, a film is shot in 24 frames per second. Technically, it's 23.976, but Peter Jackson wanted to shoot these, since he was shooting them in 3D, wanted to shoot them in a higher frame rate so that it looks more lifelike. And
real. It's typically how TV is shot.
Yeah. So I don't love that. it just looks weird. It's just not.
I feel like the reason it works for TV is because it's such a smaller.
It's the silver screen.
Yeah, it's and it looks weird. It's distracting.
It is distracting.
It doesn't feel
for sure. Like Gemini Man did that.
Yeah,
because he's the director Ang Lee, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I want the audience to feel like they're in the movie, and that's really cool. I think there's other ways that you can do it. I think we were talking about Saving Private Ryan before, and if you want to feel like you're there's a scene towards the end of Saving Private Ryan where there's a knife, like a struggle for a knife, and the camera is so close up to these characters, like you have no choice but to watch and not look away, and that's a good use of feeling like you were there in the moment in the scene, living through that. But a higher frame rate, I don't know, it doesn't do it. It doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, it takes me out of the movie, and it kind of distracts me. But
so that's that one. That's a quick review.
The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug.
Significantly better.
Yeah,
I mean, the best out of the three.
Budget of 225 mil. It grossed 158 mil worldwide. So almost broke another billion.
158 million. What is that?
Huh?
How much did it gross?
958.
Oh, 950. I thought you said 158.
Maybe I did.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it almost hit another billion. So
it's close. It's worth it then. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, either way, it broke even. So, yeah, I think right off the bat, like, this is a much, much better movie than the first one. Like, the pacing flows so much better.
A lot better.
There's great action sequences that feel like warranted, and they're creative and kind of different. I know you hate the river and the barrels in the river
I fucking
scene.
hate that scene.
It's
so
different though. And
disgusting. That's
it's disgusting.
It's fucking. There's a point where the fat dwarf, he's in a barrel and he fucking spins like those Beyblade things.
Yeah.
He spins like one of those. He's got axes coming out the side. He's smacking bitches. It looks like a fucking cartoon. And he literally hops out of the water. He gets up on top. He's swinging around, killing a bunch of orcs, and then he fucking it's Wile E. Coyote. He bursts his arms out the side of the barrel and breaks out of the barrel and finds his way into another one, catching up to them perfectly. It's fucking ridiculous. Also, there's 2 fucking GoPro shots in that scene. Disgusting. It feels like it's out of place, and I hate it. It doesn't feel right. Transformers can do a GoPro shot all they want. But the fucking Hobbit,
the way Michael Bay shoots is ridiculous. He's like, yeah, we'll set up 18 cameras and just blow the whole street up and fix it out. We'll figure it out in post.
Yeah.
Like what? This is nothing but fireworks and explosions. But
plus, those GoPro shots they look bad. Like they don't look good. It's just another instance of taking me out of the film.
I mean, you're not wrong. I like it because it's different and it's more on the creative side, and it's something we haven't seen before.
Sure.
Sure,
but maybe it would be cool to see, like, have a GoPro shot of them teetering over a huge waterfall, but for a quick flash of a GoPro shot from splashing down into a water. I don't know. I don't know. If I directed this movie, which would never happen, but if I did it, I definitely would not do a GoPro shot.
No dwarves, right? Because, I mean, who likes dwarves?
No dwarves whatsoever. Yeah. No, of course. But, no, you know what? I'd make them all humans or elves, and I'd piss off the entire fan base of The Hobbit. Deliberately.
Yeah, well, I guess there's a wizard that's supposed to be in this that's not in it. Like, he's in the books.
Oh, really? Like that, what's
the guy that has bird shit in his head?
Yeah. Do you think Tolkien wrote this wizard has bird shit in his hair?
He's got a bird nest in his hat, and he's got bird shit just trickling down his face.
He doesn't care,
what the
though.
fuck is that?
He doesn't care.
I remember watching that, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? I don't even remember that guy's name. Absolute buffoonery. I'm like, this guy's a fucking wizard.
One of the 5.
Oh my god! I hate to see the other
best.
Jesus Christ!
The other one's just a big pile of shit.
Oh my god! Could you imagine? But anyway,
no. But there are some good things about this. I think the best part about this movie is Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, as Smaug, he fucking murders it as Smaug. So,
whenever he's on screen, it's captivating.
Have you seen that behind the scenes of him
Of,
doing
like,
the
the
motion
mocap?
capture.
Yeah.
When he's like crawling on the ground.
Yeah.
That dude's got it, bro.
Yeah.
He's good.
He's like channeling his Andy Serkis there. So
Yeah. But
how do you feel like they brought back Andy Serkis as Gollum? It was necessary.
yeah. I mean, we
I'm
gotta
glad
see
that he got
we
to
gotta see
reprise
Bilbo
his
get the
role.
ring.
Yeah.
But
Forgot to ask that.
you know, he was like the first AD on the original trilogy. Or he was the
Andy
second.
Serkis?
Yeah, he was the second unit director.
Oh, that's cool.
Because they shot it all.
That's pretty sweet.
Simultaneously.
That's a pretty big role. I mean,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. So, a man of many crafts.
No doubt. I
But
mean,
I love fantasy and like swords and shields and all that kind of shit, like that genre, and I love seeing the different illustrations of dragons and like different filmmaker stories. You know what I mean? Because all dragons are different in pretty much everything.
he's very snake-like.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's so serpenty and just like he's so vile and menacing. He like, even though it's just his voice, Cumberbatch, like he steals those scenes and he has that presence that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, I wrote that an on-screen dragon has never been more terrifying. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a better interpretation of a dragon like that's like actually scary because like
Drogon. You don't know Game of Thrones.
Oh no! See, we're gonna get to that.
You're a sweet summer child. You have no idea.
I have no clue. No. Yeah, I love the dragon. It doesn't look, and again, like this whole CG through this movie does not look great. I think through all of them, they don't look that good.
Well, I like this one because they get a little more, like there's more practical shots in this.
Yeah, like
there are more people in makeup and costumes as orcs versus like CGI orcs.
Yeah, and it's weird that they choose to do like one or two of them practical
and then just digitally recreate the rest.
Like the pale orc, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
He's all CG, but like his second in command, he's practical. So I don't get why they chose to do that. And there's a scene where like, you know, obviously there's a scene where they're huddling down. This might be in the first one, but like they're huddling down in this cave and one of the orcs tumbles down and he's CG. And when he lands, he's practical. I get why they did it for that. That's not what I'm saying. But like, yeah, I mean, the practical effects still look amazing. Like the entire water town, like some of that is real and that looks great. Like, it looks so good. And there's a time when like Gandalf goes to that weird abandoned tower,
the necromancer's place or whatever.
That is a lot of that's practical and it looks so good. It's, I mean, you know me, I'm a huge fan of practical effects. I think they might cost more, but they'll age way better down the line. I mean, look at Lord of the Rings. I mean, there's
miniatures and
he coined the phrase bigatures. So, except I don't like how that sounds.
Yeah.
But or bigatures, I don't know, something weird. But I mean, look at Star Wars. The original Star Wars. Still, there are still things you've never seen.
I don't even know what that is.
It's great.
Did you spell it?
Yeah, about space wizards. Really good.
Wizards, you said.
Yeah, wizards. Yeah, but you know, like there's
Are there
still
any dragons.
There's a dog. He talks, kind of.
Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. Again, I don't think we're funny. I don't fucking know what I was talking about now. Oh, look at Star Wars. It still holds up.
We got some new characters. Legolas is back, and Evangeline Lilly. She plays. I don't remember her character's name.
She's fun. She's underused though.
You said what?
I think she's underused.
Yeah, In the
third
I think she's
one-
the only reason she's in this movie is just like the romance thing with the other dwarf guy.
Which has no fucking payoff.
Yeah, it's so sad. But
Which I love a good like psych. That's not going to happen because sometimes life doesn't happen that way.
You thought.
You thought wrong.
You thought you were going to get your beak wet, son?
Legolas looks weird.
Yeah.
He looks
It's like they try to
weird.
de-age him or something like that.
That's what
His face is too, like, it's like porcelain.
We were trying to figure out, like, we went so as far, like, I pulled up a picture on my phone. Larissa pulled up one on her phone. I'm like, let's put them side to side to get what looks different. It's like his mouth and his eyes. It's like they did something weird, which doesn't make any sense because he still looks good.
It's fun seeing a younger Legolas. Like, he absolutely hates dwarves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, he hates them. He finds them repulsive.
I love that.
And it's kind of cool to see because it comes full circle in the original, you know?
Yeah.
But it's cool because he's just a stone cold badass warrior in this movie.
Because he's
a prince. Yeah, he's a prince.
Okay.
And
which I didn't know that until
fucking dope.
watching these again.
And Lee Lee Pace plays his
Pace.
father.
He's fun.
He's in the Marvel movies. He's Ronan the Accuser.
Yeah.
You know, he and Anthony Mackie were roommates in Juilliard.
Get out of here!
Yeah,
really?
what are the odds of that, fuckers?
Wow, that's
Juilliard.
nuts. That's pretty cool.
Sons
So
of
weird.
bitches.
Like the guy who plays M'Baku and someone else, like they knew each other too, and they're like they were at one of the movies. It was like one of the early Marvel films. They're like, we're gonna be in these one day. Yeah, sure enough, they weren't.
Anyway, where am I?
You know, I love a good no music fight scene between Legolas.
Yeah.
That's a good scene.
I said this earlier, but I know that these are Bilbo's movies and this is Bilbo's story.
He's gone.
But this movie feels more so like Thorin's movie.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's the badass hero with long hair, a beard, and a sword.
Right.
Like, he's like the main dog.
Coolest dwarf we've ever seen.
Yeah. Thorin Oakenshield. That's a badass name. What's his actual name?
I don't know. I don't care enough to know.
Oakenshield. That's pretty sweet. But
I'm glad he lost that little twig after the first movie.
that was his fucking thing, though, man. He was clean with it.
But the practicality of using one is in real life. I mean, I've got a sword in one hand and a branch in the other.
Oakenshield, baby.
How about just have a shield made out of wood? An actual shield.
Same thing, though, ain't it?
It just covered his forearm.
Hey, man, what more do you need? He's only so big.
Make him a entire suit out of wood.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. I don't know.
He'd be the wooden.
Mobility might not be.
He'd be wooden man.
What's wrong with that?
Instead of Iron Man. I think it'd be great. I
Kill
think
vampires?
Sure. Kill vampires.
Yeah, you make make little stakes on them.
Oh. There's our rambling again.
Yeah, here we go. Anyway. But yeah, Thorin's the badass. He's the hero, you know what I mean? But, you know, charging the battle and slice and dice motherfuckers. But
yeah,
that's pretty much all I got for this movie.
I've got some dislikes that I didn't talk about.
Okay,
I think
here we go.
some nitpicks. I think most of the time it feels very overly.
Can I get a nitpick too?
You said it wrong.
I know. You ruined it, Logan. God damn it.
I think this movie, and kind of all of them, but they feel very, and it's hard to explain, but they feel very overly heroic. So, like, everything everyone says is such, like, it has such importance behind it. Like, Thorin.
I wish you guys could see the gesture that he just did.
like, my fists are in the air.
He just balled his fists and raised them to the sky.
In the first one, they talk about Thorin and in the battle and how his father died. And the first time he faced off against the Pale Orc, and he's standing looking away off into the distance. That's fine. And they probably repeat that little motion 4 or 5 more times.
Thorin does kind of stand off, and
it's very stalwarty, and it just feels it's over the top. Oh my god, we get it.
He's a very brooding man.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, he's very emotional.
But
I mean, that's one thing that rubs me the wrong way. I think the invisible moments when Frodo puts on, or when Dildo
Bilbo?
puts on the ring. I called him Dildo. I don't think anyone's ever made that before.
Parental discretion is advised.
But when he puts on the ring, I think it somehow looks worse than like the original trilogy. I do. Like the way they used like a simple green screen effect on Frodo and then interacted with a practical world. That was really fun. There's a moment where he pushes through bushes and the bushes open in the Lord of the Rings. That's really cool. But this time everything's just, I don't know. The invisible world when he's perceiving everything feels different. Mm-hmm. It is different, obviously, but I don't know. Can't put my finger on it. The color grade looks weird sometimes. Like right when the dwarves split up and the half go with the hurt guy. I don't know their names, and half go into the mountain.
Is that Feely or Keely?
Keely? Which one's the one that she loves?
Keely.
That Kate from Lost loves. Keely?
Yeah. Lost loves what?
Kate. She's Kate from Lost. That's how I know her.
Oh yeah. She's Wasp.
She's the Wasp. Yeah.
Hope Van Dyke.
Hope. Oh, come on.
That's her name.
It's Van Dyne, isn't it? Isn't it?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Hang on, let me look.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're thinking of.
Wait, is that
Dick
a real
Van
person?
Dyke.
Yeah, I am thinking of Dick Van Dyke.
I think it's Van Dyne.
My eyes are watering.
But there's a moment where they split off, and the dwarves are in the cave, and the grade is like gray and dull. And then it cuts back to them, and they're in the hut, and it's very orange and bright, and it's, I don't know, it's too much of a stark contrast for me. And again, these are nitpicks. What the fuck do I know?
Nitpick too.
Nitpick too. The green screen, the backgrounds just look god awful in these movies.
There's some obvious CGI shots in this movie. Like, you just looking at it, like, this is not real.
Whenever there's a close up of a character riding a horse or something, that's when it looks bad. And a lot of it has to do with the lighting of it. It's just, you could have a really, like, you could make a movie on, $2,000 and have a bad green screen, but when it's lit properly, it doesn't look as bad. But when you have a movie that has a $200 million budget and
225,
and they don't know how to fucking light the scene properly against
maybe
the CG
that was like
background.
a last minute reshoot.
It very well could be, and if that's the case, then there definitely is some forgiveness behind it. But I don't know. The last thing I have is there's a lot of, I don't know if you noticed this, but there's a lot of dolly shots. There's a lot of push-ins and pull-outs. And it's like every scene, whenever they follow like the Baron guy of the town, he's walking, it's, it pulls out as he's walking, and it pushes in as he walks away, and it pulls out as he's walking, and then it cuts to another character. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. I guess.
But it's still good. It's still a good movie. It's still a good one. I think this one's probably 7.5 or an 8 for me.
It's probably, I think it's Smaug that really makes this movie.
Again, another instance of good character or something saving a movie. So,
but
the third one,
the big cojones. This is where everything comes to a boiling head.
Battle of the Five Armies.
So Battle of the Five Armies. It had a budget of 250 mil. It grossed a little over 956 million worldwide. So didn't quite hit $1 billion again, but still very profitable. And like, it's very rare for a movie to hit $1 billion anyway. But yeah,
I mean, just think about it. 3 movies, basically they made $3 billion.
Basically,
I mean, give or take. That's crazy. And I don't think they spent $1 billion to make this movie. Well, they probably did, but budget wise,
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. But Luke Evans, the beginning is great, where he kills Smaug with that black arrow.
You like that?
Yeah. But that was only 12 minutes in, and that could have been at the end of the last movie.
What a dick tease! Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. The battle feels epic, but it's over very fast.
Yeah. Oh,
he just kind of flies over a couple times and then burns the city down, and then he shoots him with the arrow.
Yeah. I did forget to mention, I love the ending of the second one. It's very Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
Or Infinity War. It's
yeah.
What have we done? Cut to black, which would have been awesome if that's how Infinity War ended.
And then that sweet Ed Sheeran song during the credits.
That ruins it. What? I hate that. It feels out of place.
He's talking about the sky catching on fire.
The melody.
What?
The melody is weird.
I don't think we're thinking of the same song.
I think we are thinking of the same song.
What's it called? Fire or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I love it. I didn't enjoy it after that
You're
moment.
an Ed Sheeran fan?
I do like Ed Sheeran, very much so. But I don't know. I think he did fine performing the song. I think the song is fine. I just think it's misplaced.
Whatever, Logan. You're just a hater.
What do I know?
Anyway, exactly. What do you know?
Nothing.
All right, then.
Nothing at all.
Anyway. So I watched this movie this morning. And
love that you say that.
So I watched it this morning, and I hadn't seen it since it first came out. And I remember not really liking it that much the first time I saw it. I remember being really bored in the beginning. And then the action was just a whole bunch of just CGI, a mesh. And I couldn't keep track. Like, the first time I watched it, I'm like, so wait a minute, which ones are the 5 armies? So we got the men.
Yeah, I was trying to think, what are all the 5 armies?
Yeah, we have the men.
But even though there's like 20 of them, sure, they're an army.
The elves.
That's a legit army.
The dwarves.
Which ones? Because there's 2
the
dwarves.
ones that showed up.
Okay, so
yeah,
that's an army.
The guy who showed up riding a giant pig.
And he's CGI.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What the
Most
fuck?
of those elves are CGI too.
Yeah.
And then the 2 different orc armies. Because remember,
Oh, there's two of them.
yeah, because remember one came out of the
one
grind
comes out
and
late. Yeah.
fuckers. But yeah, but that being said, I watched it this time and excuse me, I'm getting an Amber Alert or a public safety alert.
Curfew.
Yeah, curfew.
Yeah, our curfew's still in effect. So
Yeah.
indefinitely.
Anyway,
Continue.
me
too.
Don't even remember what I was saying.
You watched these movies when you were younger, and now that you've seen them again, yeah.
And I remember being super bored. But now that being said, those beginning scenes where Thorin is like losing his mind and he's confiding in Bilbo.
Yeah.
Those are some of the best scenes in the movie where he like and Bilbo those scenes allow Bilbo to really look at Thorin and he's kind of like, oh shit, like this dude's crazy.
Yeah, different
like,
light.
He's losing his mind.
He was a man that he could follow, and now he's a man that's going insane.
I really liked those scenes because I don't know, man, like fellowship and friendships, those motifs in movies that they get me every time. And I don't know, I really liked that. And it's strange because this movie's the shortest of all of
Is
out
it?
of both trilogy. Yeah, it's like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Wow.
But it feels so long to me for some reason. Like I remember the first time I saw it, it felt long as shit. And then when I watched it this morning, it felt long. I don't know why, but
I didn't really have much to say about this one. I mean,
the battles are epic. You know, there's bodies flying everywhere. There's heads rolling around.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's pretty cool. And
again, it's just
Legolas's dad's riding like a big moose. He picks those dudes up and he cuts their heads off.
what is that?
I don't fucking know. It didn't look like a moose, but it had like moose
I
antlers.
know.
What is anything in that world?
Right.
You're giant fucking eagles.
Right.
The size of planes.
I again, the whole CG thing, like the characters are, they're all CG, and it feels like you're just watching like a cinematic trailer for like a game or something. Nothing has like any impact.
So the scene when Kate Blanchett, Hugo Weaving, and Christopher Lee, they roll up to save Gandalf from the Nine.
Right.
When the Nine show up, they look so weird.
They do.
Like the ghosts. It looks like a video game. Like what you were saying, like you can tell that the background is CGI. Like it's obviously been composited, not well for some reason. And like it feels like that entire scene is like a boss battle that takes place on like a hilltop somewhere. Yeah. And Gandalf, like you got to protect Kate Blanchett as she sticks Gandalf with some adrenaline and wakes him up.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was just I don't know. Don't get me wrong. Like the action sequences were badass.
Right,
It was cool to see them throw down and everything like that. But then once that was over, I get that it was a setup for Lord of the Rings. You know, like she banishes him to what is it, the East?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So she banished him. She sent him off or whatever, which is why he's stuck out there. But once it was over, I'm just kind of like,
all right,
yeah, like, so these guys just fuck off and then we don't see them again for
60 years.
Yeah, and then so it was 60 years.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, and it sets up like Sauron and Saruman and all that.
Why did he name them that way?
I don't know.
That bothers me.
Saruman.
Also, Christopher Lee. Last appearance.
R.I.P.
Yeah, he died in 2015, and Hobbit came out in 2014, the last Hobbit. So that's probably the last movie he ever did before he died.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy is a fucking badass in real life.
Yeah.
He's the only one to have ever met Tolkien out of the entire cast.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and he said that up until like the day he died, every year he read The Lord of the Rings. Every year. He was a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and he was the first one cast in The Lord of the Rings.
I wonder if he wanted to be Saruman.
I don't know.
Yeah, you know they wanted,
wants to be Saruman.
So they wanted what's his name? Sean Connery. They offered Gandalf.
Yeah.
They offered Gandalf to Sean Connery.
Could you imagine?
And he turned it down. He turned it down because he didn't. This is the One Ring.
Yeah, this is the One Ring.
Frodo, we have to destroy it.
Yeah, could you imagine?
Mish money pusher.
Oh god, that would have been. It'd be like Michael Jackson, you know.
My favorite fucking Sean Connery quote. Have you ever seen The Rock with Nicolas Cage? So it's like this. The Rock is like this prison, and they have to like break this international criminal out, which is Sean Connery, and he's talking to Nicolas Cage and blah blah blah.
Is this the one where like
Michael
he's
Bay
basically James Bond?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So my favorite. I don't know. This shouldn't be my favorite because it's kind of fucked up, but it's just so outlandish in the fact that it came from Sean Connery. He's like, they're talking about they're splitting up, and he tells Nicolas Cage to do something. And Nicolas Cage is like, "I'll do my best," and he just goes, "Your best." he's like, "You're best." He's like, "Losers cry about their best while winners go and fuck the prom queen." And it's
my
like,
God.
what? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, of course, this is in a Michael Bay movie, but
that
it's just
hasn't
so
aged
outlandish
well.
coming from Sean Connery. It's just fucking hilarious to me. But anyway, video game, and that scene really didn't warrant much.
Yeah.
And then Gandalf's kind of just fine once he gets out of there. She's like, "Get him out of here! This place is draining him." And he leaves, and he's
All
fine.
right. Well, let me go fight this fucking army.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
and then,
fine.
I don't know. Like, it's kind of funny though because when in Fellowship, when Gandalf's talking to Frodo, he's like, "If you're talking about the incident with the dragon,
I was hardly
He's like, "I was
involved."
barely involved," which is true.
Yeah.
But
But I was in all three movies though.
I was dangling from a castle.
I'm from the fifth dimension. I know.
What is time? But
Comedy comes in threes.
But like, though this trilogy is not as good as the original trilogy, it does add to Middle Earth, and it does make like what I love about these movies.
Yeah,
is
that's
that
true.
Middle Earth feels like a real place that you could go to. Like it feels like a real country that you could tour and go from place to place and actually see these places and blah blah blah.
Well, you can if you head to New Zealand.
Yeah, but so you mean that I can go to Mordor?
You can go to the Shire.
That's not Mordor.
I know.
Mordor.
You know, they built the Shire a year before they started filming because they wanted it to feel like, and they planted like real plants and they had sheep graze because they wanted it to feel like it was real and lived in and everything. Smart.
Geniuses.
Smart.
You know, in Interstellar, that Christopher Nolan, instead of using CGI corn, they planted all of those fields of corn.
I did hear
sold
that.
them
Yeah.
once the movie was done.
Very smart.
Fucking genius.
Yeah, very smart.
He was a farmer and a filmmaker.
Right.
But anyway, but yeah, world building, and that's also what I like about Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people say that Tolkien kind of started modern fantasy.
For sure he did,
that,
yeah.
and George R.R. Martin kind of finished it because I don't know where else you can really go with fantasy. Like, don't get me wrong, The Witcher's cool, but it's a lot of the same shit that we've seen before.
Yeah, the same.
But,
there's elves, there's dwarves. Yeah.
Dragons.
Yeah. Very true. Yeah, I don't really have... Yeah, like I said, I don't have much to say about this one. I mean, it's fine. It's just fine. I mean, most of the, my nitpicks and stuff carry through to this one, so I won't... No point in mentioning them again. But they did clean up, like, 100%. When I saw it in theaters, there was definitely some glaring, like I mentioned, like, Thorin's foot when he's fighting the Pale Orc does go through the ice one time. In like the version I watched, at least, it doesn't. So they in movie studios will do that. They'll go back after a movie's released to DVD or something, and they'll clean it up. Like in one of the Lord of the Rings, there's a white van that can be seen, like a production van, and when they saw it in theaters, they're like, "Oh fuck, we gotta clean that up for the DVD release," and they did. So, but yeah. I don't know. Why was that dwarf CGI? I don't.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look good. When he interacts with Thorin, it's weird.
Yeah, he doesn't look...
You can clearly tell that he's fake. So.
But speaking of Thorin, he dies.
Right.
Very sad.
I totally forgot about that.
Very sad. And his two nephews. So his entire
Killian,
bloodline's dead now. Which sucks. No, but when he kills Azog, the Defiler.
Yeah.
When he kills him, and you know how that waterfall is like frozen? There's a sweet shot that pans in when Thorin's like standing up there and he's like looking on the battlefield and everything's pretty much over.
Yeah.
As the camera pans in, you can see the frozen waterfall like slowly turn red as Azog's blood is starting to come down. Yeah, as it's starting to come down the frozen river. So that was a pretty cool little shot.
Yeah, that's a good use of like good CGI. Like that's fun. Oh wait, I do have something to add. When Thorin's losing his mind and he's on the Gold Lake, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
That looks so bad.
Yeah, and
I can excuse it because it's
that
like
was why I just really didn't enjoy the movie when I first saw it.
Like I said, I can excuse it because like it's supposed to be in his mind or whatever, right?
Yeah,
but
whatever.
it still looks, it doesn't look good. Like there's no texture to the gold. You know, there's
But
gold
I don't know.
when
It's
it's
kind of like,
melted.
of course he gets hypnotized by all this shit. Of
Right.
course. Like I don't know. It's just, and then it took him so long to finally like. It took like an hour for him to like snap out of it and actually start giving a damn and get his marbles back. But I also think this movie wraps up like really quickly. Like once Thorin dies, it's kind of like,
all right, it's over.
yeah. He just fucks off.
out.
He leaves, and Legolas's dad tells
When
him
you
to
look
go.
at like the third Lord of the Rings, like
That epilogue is long.
Yeah,
it's like
it's long.
30 minutes or more,
which
But,
is fine.
like
I don't
45
mind it.
minutes.
Yeah, I don't
But
mind it.
Legolas's dad tells him to go find the Aragorn, which I thought was cool.
Right.
There's a ranger in the north.
And I'm like, that means Aragorn is like super old, which he's 88 years old.
Oh yeah, because he's gifted with abnormally long life.
I had no clue because like in the original theatrical versions of those movies, that scene is cut out.
Yeah.
So like, you just have to imagine this fucker's 80 years old.
Yeah, because he's part of the his ancestors or whatever.
Something with the D. I can't
Some of
remember.
his ancestors. What?
The name of the race is something with the D.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know.
Yeah, I remember.
I can't even. I'm not that big of a fan to remember the names.
Yeah, but yeah, it's cool. He went and sought him out and whatever, and blah blah blah, and this and that.
Because they're good friends in the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, they're besties.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah.
That's all my notes.
So
Peter Jackson didn't really hit it out of the park, but I think he did as good as he.
I didn't know that Guillermo del Toro like worked on the screenplays for these movies.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
yeah, he's the man.
I always get those two mixed up anyway, so that's interesting.
Peter Jackson. Oh well, I guess they do kind of look
They
like.
do look alike. I think Guillermo del Toro is a little older, but yeah.
Didn't Peter Jackson like lose a whole bunch of weight? Isn't he like super skinny now or something like that?
Good for him if he did. I don't know.
Anyway,
And I don't think he's in the Hobbits. He's in every single one of the.
Stephen Colbert is in the second one. So you know when they enter the town on the river,
Yeah.
and there's that guy who has an eye patch and he like whistles.
Oh, that's Stephen
That's
Colbert.
Stephen Colbert.
Ah, that's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, Peter Jackson is in every Lord of the Rings film. Like in the Battle of Helm's Deep.
Yeah, he like throws like
that spear.
yeah. He throws a rock. He
Throws a rock,
big ass rock at one of the orcs. That's great.
fun. Yeah, I love little cameos and stuff like that from directors. I always think those are fun.
Sure.
Like a Stan Lee kind of thing.
Joe Russo is in he's in all of the MCU movies that they direct, except I don't think he's in Infinity
He's in
War.
Endgame.
He's not in Infinity War. He's who is he in so in the Winter Soldier, he's Fury's doctor. Like after they fake his death and
Wow, I have not seen that one in a
so
long time.
when they go into that bunker and Widow's been shot and it's Falcon, Cap, and Widow and Hill saves him.
Yeah.
So Joe Russo plays his doctor there, and then he's the psychiatrist in Civil War that Zemo kills and takes his place, so that he can get to Bucky.
That's cool.
And his kids, one of his daughters is
Hawkeye's
kid, and then you know those kids that come up to Hulk when he's at
That's
the
his
diner.
son,
Those
right?
are like 2 or 3 of his other kids.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
So yeah, I wish my daddy made movies.
Hey, maybe we'll. Never mind.
No, please go on.
Maybe we'll be the daddies that make those movies.
Wow.
But it just sounds really weird.
You can really dance.
Wow.
Wow.
I hate us.
All right. Anyway,
What are we going to watch next?
watch list?
Yeah.
I finally finished Defending Jacob because the final episode came out last Friday.
And did you love it?
Absolutely loved it. It's a great like family drama.
Good.
It's just about a suburban family, and the son of the family, he's 14, and he's accused of murdering a former classmate, and it really shows what a family, how dramatic and how traumatizing that could be for a family to go through. And it's great. It stars Chris Evans, Michelle Dockery, and Jaden Martell. It's great. Only 8 episodes. They're about an hour long on Apple TV Plus. Highly recommend it. It's really good.
Yeah, you told me about that. I've got them now, so I'll watch them. what did I watch? These fucking movies. That's what I watched. I had no time for anything else. So
I wonder how long it would take to legitimately watch all 6 of these movies. Just
you talking theatrical or extended?
extended.
Fuck
I don't mean
me.
I don't literally mean how long it would take. I mean easily we could do that math, but I mean like
Yeah.
to physically sit there and watch them.
Dude,
I feel like my brain would melt.
Yeah, I was
I would
drained.
slip into a coma.
Yeah. What am I gonna watch? I don't know. I've got nothing on my horizon that I'm going to watch. Stuff
Nothing
I
on-
want to watch.
Yeah.
But probably won't have time to watch.
Have you watched anything like new?
No, I don't think so. I'm so fucking boring. I like never have time to watch
No
movies.
TV shows or
No, I want to watch Game of Thrones.
nothing like that.
But I can't
Isn't it?
because foreshadowing. So,
Oh yeah, we got some Game of Thrones stuff coming at you guys.
hey, you know, foreshadowing isn't telling the audience what's going to happen.
Isn't it though?
Well, I mean,
It is, but they don't know that
indirectly,
you are at the
right?
time. But that time is now.
I don't know. That's one I want to watch. Can you hear when I scratch my beard? I don't know. I think
Hang on,
you
let me
can.
listen.
Yeah. Put your ear up against the microphone. That's how it works.
I didn't hear anything.
I wasn't doing it then. I'm not doing it.
Well, hey guys, that's the show. Yeah, we got those links in the description that we talked about earlier.
Yes.
Times are changing. The world's changing. Everybody needs to step up. Everybody needs to speak out. And there are various ways, shapes, and forms that you can do that. So we'll kind of help you guys out and drop those down there. And please join us, donate, sign. Let's do it. Other than that, check us out on social media.
Yeah, we're everywhere. We got Facebook, Twitter,
We're
Instagram, Patreon too. Don't forget to check us out there.
About the Patreon.
'Cause we got
Actually,
some fun
don't worry
stuff
about
coming.
the Patreon this week. There are other things.
That's true. Yeah,
Put your money towards
that's
other
right.
things.
Yeah, we'd much rather go towards more noble causes than
Yeah,
us.
like civil rights.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
Yeah, when you say it like that, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, but when you put it that way,
fuck our money. Yeah.
when you put it that, why didn't you just say that before? Anyway,
All right, guys.
thanks for listening, guys. May the force be with you. Fuck off.